Good evening, I'm Nicole Frolich, bringing you a momentous turning point in urban American politics. In a historic election night, Zohran Mamdani has been elected the 111th mayor of New York City. What makes this victory so significant is that Mamdani is the city's first Muslim mayor, the first South Asian to hold the office, and at just 34 years of age, the youngest in more than a century. Tonight we'll unpack how this breakthrough came about, the campaign, the platforms, the demographics, and what his win signals for both the city and beyond. Let's begin with the headline. Zohran Mamdani secured the mayoralty of New York City on Tuesday, defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa. His victory is being hailed as a landmark. The first Muslim to become mayor of the nation's largest city. The first mayor of South Asian heritage in New York. The youngest person to assume the role in more than 100 years. This election does more than mark a new face at City Hall. It reflects changing dynamics in politics around identity, representation, grassroots organizing, and progressive platforms. Who is Zohran Mamdani? Let's take a closer look at the man behind the milestone. Zohran Mamdani was born in Kampala, Uganda, to Indian-origin parents, lived in South Africa as a child, then moved to the United States and settled in New York City. He became an American citizen in 2018. He studied at Bowdoin College, majoring in Africana studies. At age 30, he was elected to the New York State Assembly, representing a Queens district, and only later mounted a citywide mayoral campaign. His political identity: he identifies as a democratic socialist, part of a progressive wave in U.S. politics. For many voters, Mamdani represented both a break from traditional power and a new kind of voice, youthful, diverse, and visibly progressive. The campaign and platform. Mamdani's campaign hinged on issues that resonate with working-class New Yorkers: affordability, housing, public transit, and wages. Key policy pledges included a freeze on rents for rent-stabilized units, fare-free city buses, a minimum wage target of $30 an hour by 2030, city-owned grocery stores to reduce costs. His campaign drew heavily on grassroots organizing and small-dollar donations rather than corporate financing. This wasn't a bland political script. It was bold, and many analysts say his ability to mobilize younger voters, people of color, and first-time voters was central. The challenges and opposition. Of course, the victory wasn't easy. Mamdani faced major names: Andrew Cuomo, seeking a comeback, and a divided opposition. He also faced scrutiny. Critics questioned his relative inexperience and the ambitious nature of his platform. And amid his identity as a Muslim and immigrant background candidate, there were Islamophobic and xenophobic attacks. The question now becomes, will Mamdani be able to deliver on these ambitious promises in a city with entrenched challenges, fiscal constraints, and political resistance? Significance for New York and beyond. His win carries several implications. It signals a shift in New York's electorate, more open to younger progressive leadership and non-traditional backgrounds. It underscores growing political engagement among younger voters and minority communities. Nationally, it may serve as a model for other cities and for progressive politics. In a broader sense, this is about representation, about a major American city putting someone in the top seat who looks different from the usual political class. For many Muslim Americans, South Asian Americans, and immigrant communities, this is a symbolic moment. What's next? The road ahead. Zohran Mamdani will take office on the 1st of January 2026. The path ahead will involve assembling his administration, negotiating with the New York State government, and figuring out how to fund his policies. He must also navigate the city's complex power structures: a large unionized public sector, major real estate interests, budget constraints, and the need to deliver tangible improvements quickly. It's one thing to get elected, it's another to govern. New Yorkers will now expect results, and history will be watching. And that brings us to the end of our segment. Zohran Mamdani's victory is more than a political milestone. It is emblematic of changing times in America's cities, about hope, about new voices and new directions. The real test begins now. Can he translate that promise into real change in the most dynamic city in the world?